Hey everybody, I'm Peter Boyer again, and we are at 11 out of 12. Hooray! Congrats for us. We almost made it. This is the last 100 meters. So 11 out of 12 means that as we have 12 tenses in English, the 11th one is future perfect simple. Now, future perfect simple is quite exciting because I don't know. It's just exciting because it's understandable and it makes it's kind of like a spice that makes the food more delicious, because it's not the same if you know one kind of future, just like future simple, and you use it for everything, and yes, they will still understand you that you use will instead of will and going to, or with future continuous will be plus verb ing, whatever. So they will understand you. If you use only one future tense and you use will for everything, but still it's a million more sophisticated, so a million times more sophisticated and more proper and more precise if you know all the four future tenses: future simple, future continuous, future perfect simple, and future perfect continuous, because you can express precisely the time of the action, the continuity of the action, the duration of the action, and when the action will happen, if it's a prediction or a plan or something else. Now with future perfect simple, I give you the scheme, a few examples, and then I will deduce to you everything that you have to know. There are only two uses, so it will not run down your brain, so I'm not going to exhaust you today. So the scheme is subject plus will have plus verb 3. Now let's see. Subject, always and always and always and always. The sentence begins with the subject. Will have is the auxiliary word. Now you have to remember this. Will have, always, with a present perfect simple, plus verb 3, yeah, which is the participle of the word. Yes, verb 1, verb 2, verb 3. Participle. I give you the examples. I will have eaten my sandwich by the time you come home. I will have, as I said, this is the auxiliary verb, will have. I will have eaten, yeah, verb 3, my sandwich by the time you come home. Yes? Let's just mimic this a little bit. If this is a future point or a future action, is will have eaten before this future moment or future action? I will have eaten my sandwich by the time you come home. Is it before it? Yeah. Another one. We will have won the match by the time you blink twice. Okay? This is a little bit boastful and self-confidence, quite American sentence. We will have won the match by the time you blink twice, but everybody who has some experience with sports knows that confidence is part of that. Now let's analyze the sentence. We will have won the match by the time you blink twice. By the time you blink twice is not actually a future moment. It's another future action, and I will tell you also something about this later. we will have finished our sightseeing tour by 6 p.m. We will have finished our sightseeing tour by 6 p.m. By 6 p.m. is actually a future moment, not another future action or not a future event. Right. Excuse me, my telephone is making noises, but we will get rid of those noises, okay? Good. First use. Future perfect simple is used to express an action already completed at a given future moment. Yes? As I expressed it to you in the first example, the action is completed in the future before another future moment, yes? So just like this, by this time tomorrow they will have crossed the Danube, or we can put it this way, they will have crossed the Danube by this time tomorrow. Let me repeat it. They will have crossed the Danube by this time tomorrow. By this time tomorrow is a future moment. Or, they will have heard the results by then. They will have heard the results by then. By then is the future moment. So a future moment somewhere in the future. It's not a precise moment, by then. Yes? By then can mean anything. By then can mean an hour. By then can mean tomorrow. By then can mean 2 months. Okay? But still, it's a future moment. They will have heard the results by then. Another one, we will have walked a long way before we reach the sea. Before we reach the sea is a future action, and there is something that will have been completed before that action in the future. And that completed action is that we will have walked a long way. Yes? Before we reach the sea, before this future action, there is another action which is already completed, but it is in the future. Another use, but in the same category, for actions which will have been completed before a specific point of time in the future, or before another action in the future. So for actions which will have been completed before a specific point of time in the future, or before another action in the future. By dinner time, I will have stopped working. Yes? So, or let me put it this way, I will have stopped working by dinner time. By dinner time is a specific point of time in the future, or let me put it this way, I will have stopped working by the time we arrive. By the time we arrive is a future action. And this action that precedes the arrival, our arrival, will have been completed. Right? Good. Now, let me point out something very important, and you already know it because you had studied it at school. You have already heard it a million times at school. It's in your course books, and your teachers have already explained it to you a dozen times that we never use double future in a sentence. So even if with this example I will have stopped working by the time we arrive, that means that during our traveling or travel I will be working actually, but I will have stopped by the time we arrive. That the action which will be completed before the other action in the future is in future perfect simple. I will have stopped. Let's analyze it. Is I a subject? Yes. Will have. Is it the necessary, obligatory auxiliary verb? Absolutely yes. Stopped. Is it verb free? Right. Is this the action that will be completed before the other future action? Yes. Before or by the time we arrive, right? Is this in the future also? Absolutely yes. But we express it with present simple because we do not use will twice in a sentence. You already know this. So cheers for you. The time expressions are by or by the time or before. The second one, second use. An action begun before a given future moment and still going on at that future moment. So pay attention here. Here the meaning of the action is the most important. And the fact that this action begun before the other future action, but it is very important that it is still going on. And you have to make a difference between future perfect simple and future perfect continuous, because here it is easy to mix them up. And there are cases where you can use both of these tenses to express the same meaning. So look at this sentence. By the 1st of July, we will have stayed here for a year. Or let me put it this way, we will have stayed here for a year by the 1st of July. We will have stayed here for a year. A year is the period, the time that precedes the 1st of July, and the action itself comes up to that future moment, okay? It comes up and it continues into it. It doesn't stop there. There's the difference between the first use and the second use. With the first use, the action is completed before the other future action. Here, it isn't. Yes? It starts here, comes up, 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 and goes into that second future action, or that future moment, or that future point, or that future precise time, or even that future event. Alright? Here it isn't an event, it is a precise future moment. So we will have stayed here for a year by the 1st of July. Here is by the 1st of July, and the action comes up to that. Next one. We will have known each other for 10 years by the end of 2017. We will have known each other for 10 years by the end of 2017. 2017 is the future moment, and the action that comes up and continues into that future moment is that we will have known each other. Good. So, another thing that I want to tell you is that we have an easy case with stative verbs like know, like depend, belong, need, want, and all of these, because as you know, stative verbs cannot be put in continuous form. So you know that you will use future perfect simple with verbs like know, or need, or depend, or belong, and all these stative verbs. Well, thank you for your attention and blessings. Bye.